Welcome to myprojectbazaar.com.
It is our project title. Our project title name is Optimize the Resource Allocation on Hybrid Cloud Network for Big Data Application using the Statistical Analysis. It is our project abstract. The use of the cloud computing platform triggered this process by providing the flexible and scalable and on-demand computing process. But these resources are limited to the organization, and it is important to allocate them wisely by the improving the performance and available, and this minimize the cost without violating the service level agreementation SLA. Therefore, this process the research focus on simplify resource allocating and through two statistical algorithm, namely the big data application resource allocation BRE algorithm and GET available G algorithms. The B algorithm will be take the input parameters such as the cost and performance available for this hybrid cloud network to get this best optimal solution for resource allocation, and G algorithm is used to find the total failure probabilities of this solution to call it the total availability. The cloud computing isn't the emergency. The paradigm of distributed cloud computing with the application data infrastructure are proposed as a services that can be consumed is the ubiquitous, flexible and transparent way. The facilitation help to develop the notations of this resource on demand with the pay to you the economic model. The computing the paradigm can be the model in the two ways. In first ways, there is a direct link between the client and infrastructure service provider. This type is the cloud computing model is the two-tier model. That the other model is called the three-tier architecture model. Include the another that play the mandatory to role between the client and the server provider. The Cura has the number of the unique benefit. The firstly, Cura is designed to provide the cost-effective solutions to efficiently handle the MapReduce production in the workload allocation process. The Cura is an existing system model. It can be allocate the jobs, and secondly, unlike the existing services are that require the customer to decide that the resource to be the use the jobs, and the Cura leverages map producing profiling to automatically create the best cluster configuration for those jobs. While the existing model allows only the per job resource allocation optimized the job, Cura implement the globally efficient resource allocation seems that the signification to reduce the resource usage of the cost in the cloud. Thirdly, the Cura leverage the unique the optimizing opportunities, and it can be dealing with this workload that we with the standoff some lack, and by efficiently multiplexing the availability cloud resource among the job based job requirement, and Cura achieves the significantly low resource usage cost of other jobs. The Cura core the resource management sims include the cost over the resource processing. The main and then some of the advanced disadvantages can be occurring in the Cura model, so we can be overcome this new model. We can be using the BRE algorithm and the G algorithms. We can be overcome this Cura resource allocation process for these algorithms, so we can be reduced and 60% of cost and job and profile execution time. We can be saved from this in our proposed algorithm process. It is our project flow diagram. In our project flow diagram, the first process is an starting process. After the starting process, the user, it means the cloud administrator can be involved in this process. The cloud administrator can be goes to this initialize the data center. Initialize the number of the data center. For example, the cloud admin can be gives the 5 or 10 number of data center. The data center can be created for the automatically for based on this cloud tool. So next process and job creation process. The admin can be initialize this number of the jobs. The jobs can be different from the one to another jobs. The job can be important to the important field for this cloud creation. The admin can be gives this number of the job. The job can be created from this small, medium, and high and extra high. The job can be variation from one to another jobs. So we can be classify them. So next is the classification. And the classification is the process can be classified all the small amount of jobs, and it can be clustering them. After the small jobs can be converted into the 1 MB file size, and it can be goes to this cloudlet creation process. The cloudlet sheet is an important process of this interface between the user and cloud. So the user can be send any of the request from the cloud. They can be directly we cannot directly send this cloud computing. So it is first it can be goes to the cloudlet, and the cloudlet can be redirect this the request from this cloud. So next is the data center creation process. The data center means the servers, data servers. How many servers the admin can be can be initialized them, and after the data center can be creation them. And next is in priority queues. The data center can be created for this many other types, and it can be number of it can create, but it has created, but it does not created for the order wise. It can be does not classify, so it can be used for this priority queue. After the priority queue can be initialized, it can be prioritized, the data center can be created automatically. So next process on VM creation process. The virtual machine creation process is an last process. So the after this process can be completed, after it can goes to this virtual machine creation process. After the virtual machine creation process can be completed, it is goes to this before reconfiguration process. The configuration process mainly can be used for this some of the values and some of the cloud computing virtual machine creation values and attributes. For example, virtual machine cost and overall cost and bandwidth, RAM size, memory, all of information can be viewing this process. And next process is on big data BRA and GA process. This there are two types of algorithm can be involving the big data process. It is an analyzing algorithms. So this algorithms can be analyzed which virtual machine can be can be fast, and it can which is load can be high, and which is then process can be high. In the all of information can be analyzing them. So this two algorithm can be analyzing the process of the big data. So next in the result can be goes to the reconfiguration process. After the reconfiguration process, all of information can be displayed the table wise concept. The user can be easily understanding from this reconfiguration result from the cloud reallocation creation process. It is our project hybrid cloud network. So click this your start form, and right click this run file. If you click this right click this run file, your project can be start to run. So it is your project title, optimize the resource allocation on hybrid cloud network for big data application using the statistical analysis. So it is our project first page. So click this your project, so give this yes to continue. So it is an admin process. The admin can be gives the username and password. So cloud 123 is an admin name, and 54321 is an admin password. If you click this admin and password, the data can be automatically loaded. It is an hybridical data. For example, cloud public and private cloud user information data. So this is the user information data, and all of attribute can be acquired. Is an name, gender, and distance server, and cloud password, and IDNS, and mail, and URL address, and data types. All of information can be displayed this field. So next you can enter the job creation process. So create a job. So it can be created the 10 number of jobs. The jobs can be automatically created. The jobs can be differ from one to another. So it is in a small, extra large, and it is in high. So the job can be vary from one to other. So it is an job, small job. In small job we are created to a cluster formation. So it can be created for the cluster for the all small jobs, and created the 1 MB file size. So it is a number of the data centers. So it can be created for 10 number of data centers. So data center can be automatically created for this in this form. So it is a data center formation can be displayed. So it is a number of brokers. So you can calculate the number of brokers. The broker ID and all of broker cost can be displayed this number of broker. So it is in VM creation. So I can give the 10 number of VMs. The VM can be automatically created for in this process. So next process is on cloud let creation to 10. The cloudlet can be automatic creation, and the distance and the fitness value is also be created for this process. So it our big data can be the map and reduce can be involved in this process. So our data can be started for map and reduce. It is a map and reduce completion. So the map reduce result can be displayed this field, and all of this total completed result is 96396 36 is displayed for this field. So it is an average arrival time on all of classification on big data analysis. The BRA algorithm process can be displayed this field. So it is an overall performance can be displayed, and it is an all of jobs and all of VM jobs can be displayed, and the cost and the bandwidth all of information can be displayed this field. It is an comparison graph can be displayed this field. It is an existing system cost effective graph can be displayed. So it is an existing type. It is an effective job utilized type, and all information can be displayed this field. So thank you for watching this video.